Alright, if your brand has seen low returns ever since around mid 2021, when iOS 14.5 really made advertising difficult on platforms like Facebook, Google, and etc., then keep watching this video to find out how you can get results like this even after the update. Now, just to quickly introduce myself, my name is Michael, and I'm actually the co-founder of Ionic X Media. We actually started off as a Facebook ads agency, but like I said, after iOS 14.5 kind of came in and shook up everything, we kind of transitioned to more of a growth agency that covers all bases, and I'll get more into about this later. Alright, and with that out of the way, let me just get straight into how exactly you can see high returns even after iOS 14.5. Okay, and trust me, for us, it wasn't easy. When we first transitioned to the growth agency model, okay, we were seeing incredibly low returns, right? It was only after months and months of, experimenting and trying to figure out how exactly to market correctly that we were able to get returns back up to the results like you saw before. All right, so let me start by getting to why exactly people aren't seeing success with paid traffic. And the number one reason I see for this is because people just simply focus too much on the details in the ads manager. So that's things like, the audiences, right? The campaign structure, stuff like that. And this approach might have worked in the past before the iOS 14.5 update when tracking was, incredibly strong and, getting even above 5x returns on Facebook was relatively easy. But now that the updates traffic have been implemented, this approach has really been nullified, right? And in the past, like I said, we've been guilty of this too. As a Facebook ads agency, we were putting most of our focus towards just the technical factors and not really focusing on, the actual marketing. And this was one of the driving reasons that we were experiencing those bad returns that I mentioned, after transitioning from that Facebook ads agency to the growth agency, because we were focusing too much on what's happening within the ads account, okay? Yes, that stuff can matter. This stuff can make an impact, but it's not going to be the driving reason that you actually see success. So what exactly is the correct approach then? Well, after the update, the improved method to ensure that you're getting high returns on your ads or, any sort of marketing medium is what we like to call the holistic approach. Okay? And I'll get more into what exactly this means later. But the holistic approach is becoming increasingly important because, nowadays after the update, getting your customers' attention and making them want to buy is no longer as simple as just throwing a bunch of retargeting ads at them until they end up purchasing. So what exactly are the components of the holistic approach? The first important thing about the holistic approach is content that works. So what does this mean? What is effective content? So effective content makes the customer want to buy, first of all, right? It's simple. Number two, they're images and videos that helps your brand stand out from the competition. And again, this is just another component of making your customer want to buy. And then number three, content that push messages that resonate with your target customer, right? Messages that ensure that they're thinking of you. Again, another aspect of making your customer want to buy. So what does this look like from the Facebook end of things? Well, on Facebook, this would translate to effective ad copies and creatives. And you might say, that's kind of obvious, right? But you'd be surprised at how many brands just simply ignore or put so little effort in creatives, right, the ad copy, in favor of just trying to find a fitting audience and just hoping the returns flood in. That's not how it works, right? You need to ensure that the things that the customers are seeing in your ads make them want to buy. And that's why you really need to take the time and put in the effort to actually put forth an effective coordinated content strategy through not only Facebook, but all your other channels. So what does this look like for other channels? Because like I said, right, we transitioned to more of a holistic marketing strategy. You need to cover all the bases. Well, on other channels, this would mean, a polished website with a high conversion rate, a strong organic social media presence with high quality images and videos that really make your brand stand out. And again, that's one more important thing. You really need to make your brand stand out, right? And powerful email and SMS marketing that really entices the customer and pushes them towards that final step of actual buying. And again, one of the most important things throughout all these channels, no matter what medium you're advertising or trying to market on, is ensuring that you're pushing messages that actually make your brand stand out and make your customer want to buy, right? You really need to take the time to decide what those messages are for your brand, right? That helps you stand out from the competition and simultaneously, right, attracts customers and kind of gives them that feeling that, oh, I really want this product. Now, of course, many different factors come into actually deciding what those messages are for your brand because again, it varies from brand to brand, right? It depends on, what kind of personality you want to set for your brand, what specific aspects and, features of your brand that are non-tangible that you really want to promote, right? Different factors like that, you really want to decide to ensure that you're putting the most effective messages in your marketing so that your customers really want to buy for the lowest cost. Now, taking it a step further, right? Beyond just having effective content across multiple different platforms, you want to coordinate your marketing so that all different platforms help each other and kind of feed into each other so that you're getting the most efficiency out of each of the platforms as possible. Now, One of the biggest reasons that Facebook ads agencies are not producing results nowadays is because of isolation, right? Right? They isolate Facebook ads to its own platform, and oftentimes what I see from a lot of agencies is that they don't really coordinate any of their marketing with what the brand is doing on their organic social media platforms, right? Or with their email marketing, right? Or any other ad platforms that they're actually advertising on. Now this kind of ties back into the whole idea of pushing effective messages to your target customer, because what kind of brand is going to resonate with you more? Is it going to be a brand that kind of pushes random ads to you with random creatives throughout different points of the week that you can't even remember a single one of them because they're all so different and also uncoordinated, right? A brand that doesn't really have a singular message, a brand that you don't even know what's so different about them from the competition? Or is it going to be a brand that you know the personality of, right? Pushes a similar enticing message to you every time you see an ad of theirs, and then shows up in your inbox with a similar type of message plus an enticing offer, right? It's going to be the second one because you know that brand, right? You actually know what that brand's trying to push. You know what actually distinguishes them from their competitors. And that's kind of, the essence of actually ensuring that your marketing is coordinated together. But there's also other aspects of it, like, technical aspects. And I'll kind of get into that in a second. So, what are some examples of actually coordinating your marketing together between different channels? Well, one of the most simple ones is generating email signups with paid ads, right? Pretty simple. Okay. And, vice versa. You can build audiences for paid ads using your email list. And then you can even boost your organic socials with your email and SMS marketing and vice versa. And these are just a few simple examples of some integrations you can make to greatly improve your results across all channels without having to spend much money. And like I keep mentioning, right? The most important thing is having an effective content and branding strategy across all your channels. So that's coordinating your messages and creatives while still ensuring that, from ad to ad or from campaign to campaign or across different channels, there are still unique aspects to your content in each one so that your brand still resonates with your customer without creating fatigue. All right, number three, diversify your channels. Okay, what do I mean by this? Well, it's pretty simple. Take advantage of more niche platforms depending on what works for your brand. Facebook is getting expensive, right? There may be more cost effective and efficient options out there for your brand, right? You just have to experiment. So, platforms like Twitter, right? Reddit, Quora, Twitch, right? TikTok, even Pinterest, right? These are all platforms that you may want to consider advertising on depending on who you're trying to target and, the nature of your product. Different brands have different needs. Quora might work for one brand, right? TikTok might work for another brand. Twitch might be horribly ineffective for your brand, but, Reddit might be great. So you really want to just experiment. Test with small budgets, keep in mind, right? Don't just put all your money in and just hope it works. But just make sure to diversify, right? Consider all your options before sticking to just one. Now, all these factors that I discussed in this video, you have to consider, right? Remember, cover all your bases when you're planning your marketing. These are all things that, your regular Facebook ads agency or Google ads agency, won't be able to do for you and won't be able to get your ideal returns that you're expecting simply because, like I said, they just don't take that holistic approach. I mean, when we were a Facebook ads agency, we definitely didn't. So in the end, right, you have to create an in-depth strategy that covers all these bases, that covers all these different channels, and coordinating them together, or you get an agency to do it for you. And that's how you'll actually get, the 5, 6, 7, even 10x plus. Now, I hope you all found this information helpful. If you did, make sure to leave a like, right? Comment, give us your feedback, and of course, subscribe to our YouTube channel. We have a ton more content like this going in depth about online marketing, and I think you'll find that very valuable. Or, of course, visit our website if you're interested in us and, want to find out more about what we do. And, with that being said, take care.